The night was quiet when the transmission first arrived. Park Ji-yoon sat alone in the dimly lit communication center, her eyes drooping from hours of monotonous monitoring. Outside, Seoul slumbered beneath a blanket of winter fog, unaware of the extraordinary moment about to unfold. A faint signal blinked on her secondary screen. Most technicians would have dismissed it as electronic noise, but Ji-yoon's instincts were different. She leaned closer, her fingers dancing across the keyboard, tracing the signal's unusual pattern. The transmission was unlike anything she had ever seen. Complex mathematical sequences intertwined with what seemed like linguistic algorithms, creating a communication matrix that defied standard interpretation. It wasn't just a message, it was an intricate tapestry of information that seemed to pulse with intelligence. Kim Sung-ho, her junior colleague, entered the room carrying 2 steaming cups of coffee. "Anything interesting?" he asked casually, setting 1 cup beside her. Ji-yoon's response was a distracted mumble. Her eyes were fixed on the screen, analyzing the incoming data. The signal was deliberate, structured, and undeniably artificial. It carried markers of advanced technological origin, definitely not human, and certainly not from any terrestrial source. Unknown to them, the transmission had already traversed multiple global communication networks. It passed through government firewalls, satellite relay stations, and underground communication hubs. Each system processed fragments of the message, but none could comprehend its entirety. At the National Intelligence Service headquarters, a routine monitoring system briefly registered the anomaly. A junior analyst glanced at the screen, noticed an unusual data pattern, and then returned to scrolling through social media. The potential world-changing transmission was reduced to a momentary curiosity. The message itself was a marvel of communication. Engineering. It contained layers of information that could potentially unlock fundamental understandings of interstellar communication, advanced mathematics, and possibly even the nature of consciousness itself. But it was also incredibly complex, so complex that traditional human decoding methods would take decades, if not centuries, to unravel. Ji-yoon realized something significant was happening. Her hands moved with practiced precision, attempting to isolate and analyze the transmission. She knew her colleagues would laugh if she reported this, another wild theory from the department's most imaginative researcher. Sung-ho noticed her intensity. "What are you seeing?" he asked, peering over her shoulder. "Something extraordinary," she whispered, her breath creating a small fog on the computer screen. The transmission continued its silent journey through global networks, fragmenting and reassembling, leaving behind microscopic traces that would take years to detect. It was a message sent with profound intention, carrying hopes of establishing first contact with an unknown civilization. But humanity, in its characteristic fashion, was busy with mundane concerns. Political debates, social media arguments, economic fluctuations, the grand message of potential cosmic communication was lost in the noise of daily human existence. Ji-yoon began documenting her observations, knowing well that her meticulousness might be her only defense against potential ridicule. Each line of her notes represented a piece of a puzzle that could potentially redefine human understanding of the universe. As dawn broke over Seoul, casting soft light through the communication center's windows, the transmission gradually faded. Its purpose remained unknown, its sender a complete mystery. Only Ji-yoon and Sung-ho had witnessed its brief, magnificent existence. Little did they know that this single transmission would become the first whisper of humanity's most significant missed opportunity, a message from the stars that would remain unheard, unacknowledged, and ultimately forgotten. The coffee in Sung-ho's cup grew cold, the computers hummed their electronic lullaby, and the greatest communication in human history passed by, unnoticed and unrecognized, waiting for someone to finally understand its profound significance. In that moment, humanity stood at the precipice of an extraordinary revelation, completely unaware that everything was about to change. On the massive communication vessel of the Interstellar Collaborative, tension filled the main observation deck. Ravi, the lead communication specialist, stared at the transmission logs with growing confusion. Humans had not responded, not even a simple acknowledgement. The vessel's interior was a marvel of technological design, smooth metallic surfaces that shifted color based on emotional readings of the crew. Right now, those surfaces flickered between deep blue of confusion and pale green of mild frustration. "They received our message," Ravi muttered to Hana, his senior communication strategy director. "Our transmission was perfect: mathematical precision, cultural sensitivity, complete linguistic adaptability." Hana's multi-sensory communication implants processed the data repeatedly. Each analysis returned the same result: total human non-response. This was unprecedented in the collaborative's 1,000-year diplomatic history. The transmission they had sent was more than a simple greeting. It was an invitation to join a galactic community of advanced civilizations. Embedded within the message were complex mathematical proofs, cultural exchange protocols, and technological sharing agreements. It represented centuries of diplomatic evolution. "Maybe they didn't understand," suggested a junior communication analyst named Kira. Ravi's tentacle-like appendages moved across holographic interfaces, reviewing transmission logs. The message had multiple redundancy systems. It could be decoded by any civilization with basic mathematical comprehension. Humans should have understood. The collaborative had been observing Earth for decades. They knew humans were technologically emerging, somewhat chaotic, but fundamentally intelligent. Their rapid technological progression suggested potential. Their ability to solve complex problems, adapt to challenging environments, and create innovative solutions was noted in multiple research documents. Yet this complete silence was bizarre. Hana began preparing secondary communication protocols. If the first transmission was not received, they would send alternative versions. Mathematical sequences would be simplified. Cultural references would be adjusted. Communication strategies would be recalibrated. "We cannot assume failure," she announced to the communication team. "Humans are known for unexpected responses." The observation deck buzzed with speculation. Some crew members believed humans might be deliberatively ignoring the transmission. Others suggested technological limitations. A few proposed more radical theories about human psychological complexities. Ravi's personal theory involved human internal conflicts. Their historical records showed continuous planetary conflicts, diverse cultural systems, and complex communication challenges. Perhaps their internal divisions prevented a unified response. The collaborative's communication vessel maintained its position near Earth's communication sphere. Sophisticated scanning systems continuously monitored potential response channels. Every satellite transmission, every radio wave, every digital signal was analyzed with meticulous precision. Hours transformed into days. Days became weeks. The transmission remained unanswered. Diplomatic protocols demanded patience. The collaborative had contacted numerous emerging civilizations. Some responded immediately. Some took centuries. Patience was a fundamental virtue of their advanced society. Yet something about humans felt different. Their potential seemed extraordinary. Their technological leap within mere centuries was unprecedented. Their ability to overcome planetary challenges, adapt to multiple environments, and create complex problem-solving systems suggested they were not an ordinary emerging civilization. Ravi reviewed human cultural documents, music compositions that expressed complex emotions, scientific discoveries that challenged existing knowledge, artistic representations that revealed profound philosophical understanding. Humans were remarkable. "We will wait," Hana finally declared. "Humans will respond." Eventually, the communication vessel's internal systems continued monitoring. Transmission logs remained open. Mathematical sequences stood ready for potential decoding. Cultural exchange protocols waited patiently. Earth continued its daily rhythms, completely unaware of the extraordinary opportunity hovering silently in its orbital communications range. Humans missed the message. The collaborative waited, and in that waiting, a potential cosmic connection remained suspended. A fragile bridge between two civilizations, waiting to be discovered. The old research facility looked ordinary from outside. Dusty windows, faded paint, and forgotten equipment filled its interior. Lee Jae-won didn't care about appearances. He cared about data. Kang Yoo-jin watched him carefully as he connected multiple computer systems. Old machines hummed with unexpected life. Scattered hardware from different decades created a complex network that most modern researchers would consider obsolete. "Something is different today," Jae-won mumbled. His fingers moved quickly across keyboard interfaces. Random signal patterns began appearing, strange mathematical sequences that seemed to dance between logical structures and complete randomness. Most researchers would have dismissed these signals. But Jae-won was different. He saw patterns where others saw noise. The signal carried unique characteristics, mathematical progressions that didn't match any known human communication protocol, complex encryption layers that seemed to breathe, with intelligent design. Each fragment suggested something extraordinary was hiding within the digital noise. Yoo-jin recognized the unusual transmission characteristics. Her specialized training in signal processing allowed her to see beyond standard communication boundaries. What looked like random data to others revealed intricate communication structures to her trained eyes. "This is not human," she whispered. Jae-won's research center was known for investigating unconventional communication technologies. Funded by small government grants and private technology enthusiasts, their work often existed at the edges of scientific understanding. The signal continued its complex dance across multiple frequency bands. It carried mathematical sequences that seemed to change slightly with each transmission cycle, almost like a living communication system that adapted and responded to its environment. Hours passed. Jae-won consumed multiple cups of strong black coffee. His wall was covered with handwritten equations, signal graphs, and complex diagrams. Each new analysis revealed another layer of the mysterious transmission. Yoo-jin began preparing specialized decryption algorithms. Traditional methods would not work. This transmission required something different, a more adaptive, more intelligent approach to understanding its fundamental structure. Their small research team worked silently. No dramatic discussions, no excited proclamations. Just precise, methodical investigation of something potentially revolutionary. The transmission carried markers of extreme technological sophistication, mathematical progressions that suggested communication from a source far beyond current human technological capabilities, encryption layers that seemed to anticipate potential decryption attempts. "It's like the message is alive," Jae-won said. Suddenly, Yoo-jin nodded. The transmission wasn't just information. It felt like an intelligent system communicating complex ideas through mathematical language. Government communication centers remained unaware. Massive bureaucratic systems missed this subtle, extraordinary signal. Large institutions with expensive equipment failed where two dedicated researchers with older technology succeeded. As midnight approached, the first breakthrough happened. A small section of the transmission became partially readable. Mathematical sequences revealed potential communication protocols from an unknown technological source. The implications were staggering. This was not just a random signal. This was a deliberate communication attempt from something or someone not of human origin. Jae-won and Yoo-jin looked at each other. No words were necessary. They both understood they were witnessing something that could potentially change human understanding of communication, technology, and possibly our place in the universe. The old research facility continued humming. Computers processed data, mathematical sequences danced across screens, and humanity remained completely unaware that its most significant communication had just been discovered in a forgotten research center by two dedicated researchers. The government building seemed to breathe bureaucracy. Hwang Min-ki sat in the Central Communication Review Room, surrounded by stacks of reports and official documents. His job was simple: filter and manage incoming unusual communication data. When Jae-won's research report landed on his desk, he initially treated it like countless other strange submissions. Unusual signal patterns, complicated mathematical sequences, potential technological anomalies. But something felt different this time. Choi Yoonji, the technical verification specialist, examined the documentation carefully. Her trained eyes quickly recognized the transmission's unique characteristics. This wasn't another conspiracy theory or random research proposal. This requires serious investigation, she told Min-ki. Institutional protocols demanded multiple layers of verification. Each department wanted to protect its reputation. No one wanted to be associated with potentially embarrassing or unverifiable claims about extraterrestrial communication. The National Science Council's first response was predictably bureaucratic. They requested additional documentation. They demanded more precise signal analysis. They created committees to study the initial findings. Weeks transformed into months. Multiple review boards examined the transmission data. Each committee added its own layer of complexity. Scientific language became increasingly complicated. Simple discoveries got buried under mountains of technical language. Min-ki watched the process with growing frustration. The original signal's potential significance was slowly disappearing beneath layers of administrative procedures. "We need to move faster," he told Yoonji. But institutional momentum was slow. Government departments operated like massive, slow-moving machines. Quick decisions were rare. Careful, calculated responses were the norm. Research funding committees debated the merit of further investigation. Some believed the transmission was important. Others considered it another waste of government resources. Meetings continued. Reports were written. Nothing substantial happened. Jaewon and Yoo-jin watched their discovery get lost in bureaucratic channels. Their revolutionary finding was becoming another forgotten research proposal. The communication departments maintained their standard protocols. Signal anomalies were common. Most turned out to be technical glitches or natural electromagnetic interference. They had seen hundreds of similar proposals. But this transmission was different. Embedded within the mathematical sequences were communication markers that suggested intelligent design. Complex encryption layers that seemed to anticipate potential decryption attempts. Transmission characteristics that defied standard explanation. Yoonji began creating detailed technical reports. She understood the potential significance. This wasn't just another research proposal. This could be humanity's first genuine extraterrestrial communication attempt. Min-ki supported her efforts, but institutional resistance was strong. Government departments preferred maintaining existing procedures. Challenging established communication protocols was risky. Weeks became months. The transmission data got shuffled between different government departments. Each review added another layer of administrative complexity. The original signal's potential significance got buried beneath official paperwork. "We cannot lose this," Yoonji insisted. But institutional momentum was difficult to change. Large government systems were designed to resist rapid transformation. Careful, calculated responses were preferred over quick decisions. The research center that originally discovered the transmission received limited funding. Their equipment remained old. Their proposals got minimal attention. Jaewon continued his research with limited resources. He knew the transmission was significant. But institutional resistance made progress challenging. Communication departments maintained their standard skeptical approach. Signal anomalies were common. Most turned out to be technical mistakes or natural interference. But this transmission waited. Patient, persistent, containing extraordinary information that humanity was not yet ready to understand. The government building continued its daily rhythm. Bureaucrats moved papers, committees met, reports were written, and the potential greatest discovery in human history remained hidden, waiting for someone to truly listen. Institutional resistance had won another round, but the transmission remained, holding its secrets patient and unchanged. The television studio buzzed with energy. Bright lights illuminated the colorful set of Korea's Ultimate Cooking Challenge, a popular reality show that combined culinary skills with dramatic competition. Park Hyun-woo worked quietly in the broadcast control room. His job was managing technical transmission systems, ensuring smooth broadcasting across multiple networks. Most days were routine. This day would be different. Kim Da-eun monitored satellite communication channels, her eyes moving between multiple screens. She noticed something unusual in the background signal patterns during the live broadcast. The cooking show reached its dramatic climax. Two chefs stood preparing their final dishes, an intricate fusion of traditional Korean and modern molecular gastronomy. Cameras captured every precise movement. Tension filled the studio. Unbeknownst to everyone, the broadcast's transmission frequency accidentally matched the precise communication protocol of the alien transmission. Mathematical sequences embedded in the cooking show's background transmission created a perfect harmonic resonance. In the Interstellar Collaborative's communication vessel, monitoring systems suddenly came alive. Complex algorithms detected a matching communication signature. What seemed like a random Earth transmission carried unexpected sophisticated communication markers. Ravi, the lead communication specialist, couldn't believe the data. A cooking show had accidentally triggered their first contact protocols. The broadcast showed a chef carefully arranging ingredients. His precise movements, cutting, mixing, arranging, created mathematical patterns that mysteriously aligned with the alien communication structure. Each knife movement, each ingredient placement carried an unexpected scientific precision. Da-eun noticed first. "Something is different," she muttered, adjusting communication tracking systems. Hyun-woo leaned closer. The transmission carried unique characteristics, mathematical progressions that seemed to dance between culinary technique and complex communication protocols. The Interstellar Collaborative's communication systems began analyzing the unexpected transmission. What initially looked like a simple entertainment broadcast contained layers of sophisticated information exchange. Viewers watched the cooking competition, completely unaware that humanity was accidentally communicating with an advanced alien civilization. The chef's precise movements became an unexpected language of connection. Communication specialists aboard the alien vessel found themselves fascinated. Humans had accidentally demonstrated complex problem-solving skills, creative thinking, and technological adaptability through a cooking competition. The transmission continued. The chef completed his dish, a complex culinary creation that seemed to follow mathematical principles with remarkable precision. Each movement carried unexpected scientific elegance. Ravi and his communication team watched in amazement. This was not just a cooking show. This was a demonstration of human potential, creativity, precision, unexpected intelligence. Da-eun and Hyun-woo continued monitoring, slowly realizing something extraordinary was happening. Their routine broadcast had become something more. An unexpected first contact scenario. The Interstellar Collaborative made a surprising decision. Instead of traditional diplomatic communication, they would continue observing. Humans had demonstrated something remarkable: the ability to create complex systems of communication through unexpected channels. As the cooking show concluded, the transmission faded. But the connection remained. The alien civilization had found something intriguing in humanity's unexpected complexity. Backstage, chefs celebrated their competition. Technical staff packed equipment. Producers discussed ratings. Nobody understood the cosmic significance of what had just happened. Humanity had accidentally communicated. The universe had listened. The cooking show became a classified incident, known only to a select few who understood its true significance. An entire civilization's first contact had been established through a television broadcast about preparing food. Da-eun smiled, understanding something profound had occurred. Hyun-woo continued his technical work, unaware of the extraordinary moment they had just witnessed. The Interstellar Collaborative made their first real assessment of humanity. Unexpectedly brilliant, wonderfully chaotic, potentially extraordinary.